All right, let's talk about something that, most of us are kind of taught to avoid, being alone. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if solitude isn't a weakness at all? What if in our crazy, noisy, hyper-connected world, it's actually our greatest undiscovered source of power?
So, first things first, we've got to understand the world we're all living in right now. I mean, it's a world that has pretty much eliminated silence, hasn't it? It's a place where being constantly plugged in, always available, and just surrounded by digital noise, well, that's not just common anymore. It's the default setting.
And that, right there, leads to a pretty fundamental question. Are we afraid of being alone with our own thoughts? And if we're being really honest with ourselves, I think for a lot of us, the answer is a quiet, maybe even a little uncomfortable yes. I mean, just think about your day for a second. It's this relentless stream of pings, buzzes, and alerts, right? Every single one is a tiny little demand for your attention, pulling you out of your own head and straight into someone else's agenda. And what happens in those few, rare moments of quiet we actually get? You're in line for coffee, or maybe you're waiting for a meeting to start. What's the first thing we do? We pull out our phones. It's almost a reflex. We fill that precious, empty space with just endless scrolling. We're passively consuming stuff instead of letting our own thoughts bubble up to the surface.
And here's the thing. This isn't an accident. This whole behavior is driven by a really powerful and very modern anxiety. FOMO, the fear of missing out. We stay glued to our screens because we're terrified of what might happen if we disconnect, even for a minute. But the real question, the one we need to ask, is what are we missing out on inside ourselves?
Okay, so if we're going to reclaim this power of being alone, first, we have to bust a huge central myth. We absolutely have to understand the critical difference between solitude and loneliness. Because let me tell you, they are not the same thing. Not even close.
So let's start with loneliness. Loneliness is something that happens to you. It's that painful, negative feeling that you're lacking a connection that you really want. It's an empty space, but it's one you didn't choose to be in. Solitude, though, that's completely different. That's something you choose. It's a deliberate, positive act. It's you deciding to step away from all the noise so you can actually connect with yourself. See, it's not an empty space. It's a space you create on purpose. And just look at the contrast here. It's night and day. Loneliness is draining, but solitude, that's recharging. Loneliness feels like isolation, while solitude is all about reflection. One is a negative state, a weakness, really, and the other is a genuine strategic advantage. Getting this distinction, honestly, it's everything.
So why is this strategic advantage so important? What actually happens when we make that choice, when we embrace the power of silence? Well, this is where the magic happens. This is where we forge real, lasting internal strength.
Think about it. When you finally disconnect from all the external noise, you can actually hear your internal world. And that's where deep self-awareness is born. You start to understand what you truly think and feel, not what everyone else is telling you to. It's where your creativity gets unlocked, because your mind is finally free to wander and connect dots in new ways. It builds emotional resilience, teaching you to trust your own gut. And ultimately, all of this, it's the path to self-mastery.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? In silence, you don't find nothing. You find yourself. We're so afraid of the nothingness of silence, but that's the big misunderstanding. The silence isn't empty. It's full. It's absolutely full of everything you've been too busy and too distracted to notice about you. All right, so we've separated solitude from loneliness. We totally get the benefits now. So here comes the most important part. How do we actually use it? How do we turn this idea of solitude from just a nice concept into a practical, strategic weapon for our own lives?
First things first, it starts with a mindset shift. You have to realize that solitude isn't passive. It's not just about sitting around doing nothing. No, it's an active engagement with your own mind. Think of it like a workout, but for your inner self. It's a skill you practice and get better at over time.
And here's a really simple framework to get you started. Number one, you have to actually schedule the time. Seriously, put it in your calendar just like any other important appointment, even if it's only for 15 minutes. Number two, eliminate distractions. And this part is non-negotiable. Put your phone in another room. Turn it off, whatever it takes. 3, engage with your thoughts. Don't just zone out. Actively ask yourself questions. Think through a problem you're facing. And finally, number 4, capture the insights. Keep a notebook or a journal handy because I promise you, the ideas that pop up in these quiet moments, they're often gold. Okay, so let's bring this all together, shall we?
The ultimate takeaway here is all about adopting a completely new perspective on what it means to be alone.
And this is the crucial reframe. Those quiet moments you carve out for yourself, they're not empty. They're your workshop. They're the design studio where you get to be the architect of you. It's where you can pull out your own blueprints, see what's working, fix what's broken, and decide, with intention, what you want to build next in your life, in your work, in your very character.
And so that really just leaves us with one final, very personal question for you. If you give yourself that space, if you dare to step into the quiet and become your own architect, what will you build?